Okay, this hive is a little bit different. I started it about 4 weeks earlier than the other one, so it's much more further along. And I started it off with some drawn out comb early on, so they got a jump start, which means she was able to go in and lay eggs pretty fast. See, there's a lot more bees in this thing because they've been laying eggs like crazy. They're going to be a little more aggressive on me. I also put this top section on here, which is considered super. It's basically where they're able to go fill it with honey. So like the bottom section would be where they would lay eggs. The top section would be where they store honey. And these frames are not only were they already, a lot of them already drawn out, they already had honey in them. So I'm not sure exactly how they're gonna be in here, but I want to go through the whole thing. I want to get all the way down and see what's going on in the bottom frames, but I gotta see what's going on in the top frames first. So same thing, I'm just gonna pull out the frame. It's kind of the furthest over on the edge. This one, I'm gonna really make a mad because I keep dropping the frame. So this one had a lot of honey in it, and I had torn out the comb because it was bad. So they're in there, they're basically storing pollen, and but you can see this is what it looks like if they have honey in it. This is capped honey. The whole other side is full of honey. Now this isn't going to be honey I'm going to pull. This is going to be honey I'm going to let them keep because they need it for the summer. Or I mean for the winter. So again, I'm just trying to look at the frames. The queen could be up here, but typically she stays in the bottom. But I want to be careful and look for her even in this top part. So I want to find her and make sure. This comb was pretty messed up. They're going in and trying to fix it. Again, there's not really there's no real eggs laid up here because the queen tends to stay below. So I'm looking for the same thing here. I'm looking for, are they drawing out comb? Is she laying eggs? And I already know this one had a ton of eggs laid. This frame's actually really heavy because you see all the honey that's in on both sides. So again, she wouldn't be up here. But you can see them, they're sticking their heads down in the cells. So I'm just gonna put this in and start sliding them over. So those were all drawn out combs. This was an empty frame that I stuck in with a base, and they're not doing anything with it really. They're drawing it out a little bit, you can see, but they're not doing a whole lot with it because they don't really need to right now. But hopefully by the end of the summer, all these frames will be drawn out. This one isn't even touched. They're not really doing a whole lot with it. So I'm looking, again, I wouldn't see her up here, the queen. I wouldn't see her up here at all because there's no place for her to lay eggs. They bring her all the honey that she needs. Now this is new honey. This was a new frame. This was just like that base. And now you can see not only are they drawing out the comb, but this white part is capped new honey. That's a good sign. They're making their own, plus what was there. They're gonna be set for, hopefully for winter. Again, here's another frame. This is heavy. Okay, now this is interesting because she could be up here because now I'm starting to see, this is a little bit different. You're starting to see some pupa cells in here, and those little bumpy ones, the big raised ones, those are actually drone cells, boy bees. Almost all these bees are girls. So one of the things I'm looking for, remember, is drones. I'm looking for queen cells. I don't see that. Those all look like drone cells to me. see what's in this one. It's got some drone cells as well. The drones are pretty significantly bigger. That's why the little cells stick out. As you can see, they're capping. I don't know if you can look and see, but there's little white pupas in there. They're capping off. If it was a queen cell, it would be pointed downwards. It would be shaped like a peanut, and it would be pointing downwards. So I don't see her anywhere in here. If I see a drone, if I see a good example of a drone, I'll show it to you. Okay. This one's mainly honey. They're just storing honey up here. This is right in here. If you take a look, you'll see bigger bees. There's that one that's really big. That's because he's a drone. He's bigger. He's a male. There's not as many drones, obviously, as there are. There aren't many guys as there are girls. Primarily because the girls do all the work. So you need more of them than you do the guys. So I'm going to put all these frames back carefully. I don't want to squish anybody in between frames. Sometimes you'll catch them passing between the frames. And again, remember, I want to put them back in the same order that I got them. Get out of there. If I blow on them a little bit, they move out of the way. And I'm going to take this whole top off and set it over to the side. It's got to move nice and easy because if you don't perturb them a little bit, this one's got a lot more ease on it. I can just kind of slowly push them all over. Put these frames back, which do have some bees on them. Then I'm going to get into the bottom, and the bottom is going to be really crowded, which you'll see here in a minute, because just about all the frames are full on the bottom. So just give them a little bit more smoke. Just want them to stay in the frame. Doesn't matter, they're going to come out anyway. But so again, I'm just going to pop this off. They kind of glue it together. Kind of hear it cracking. I'll just set it up right there. Now I'm going to try to tilt this down, camera down, so you can see. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm looking for. Now she should be down here in here somewhere. She could be anywhere, and I may not find her because there's going to be so many bees. But again, I'm looking for evidence that she's in here. She's doing her thing. So this is a frame they're starting to draw out. So she's probably not going to be on this because there's no place for her to lay eggs. She tends to just stay wherever she can stay that they're laying, that she can lay eggs. Since that's her job. Almost all of these, well, a big chunk of these were new frames, well, old frames, but new foundations. I'm looking for, she could be in here. You're gonna see a bunch of orange stuff in there. That's pollen. And I'm looking for her. Don't see her at the top part. You'll notice that on the top edges, they tend to put honey stores. And then she lays in the middle. So now that I've taken out one frame, I can kind of just, run out of smoke. I can just slide frames over. They're getting mad because I'm fiddling with them. So let's see what we got as we get down in here. And I kind of looking for too, it's like, is there a really weird comb that they're drawing out that's going to be a problem later? Like, I want to get rid of that. So this you're going to see now, honey on the top, and you'll see all the little brown cells. Those are all capped brood. So she's still in here laying eggs somewhere. So even if I can't find her, honestly, she's in here somewhere because she's laying eggs. If I don't see her, the evidence of her being here is there. Don't see her on that frame. She's been here. Don't see it. Try not to drop them or bump them because obviously that gets them stirred up pretty good. They kind of glue the frames together, so you have to kind of gently get in here and pry them apart. Okay. So lots and lots of bees. This thing is going to be full very, very fast. There's almost no place for her to lay eggs at this point, which is a problem. Which means there's just too many bees. Now when they get to that point, they get too overcrowded, that's when they basically are going to split. They decide that they're too crowded. They create another queen. She flies off. The old queen flies off. Oh, buddy. Get out of there. Gotta hold on, gotta be in there. Sorry, my smoker ran out of smoke, so I had to go relight it up. So again, still not smoking very good. Hold on. Now we got some smoke going. I'm not super concerned I haven't seen the queen because I see too much evidence of her being there, so. So let's see if I can find her in this next frame. Hopefully she hasn't jumped over to a frame I've already pulled out. So I take it back. She's gone back and relayed. So you see all those empty cells. Here are ones that were full before. They've hatched, and now she can go back and relay in those. I'm looking for her and don't see her though. This next frame, I already saw it from up here. It's got some kind of goofy little burr comb, what they call burr comb. now they're really mad. Now they're really mad. Yeah, so this next frame, sometimes you just gotta walk away from them. They get a little frustrated. You just gotta walk away from them to get them settled down a little bit. Okay, so this next frame has some burr comb in it, which I don't like. It just makes it harder later. So same thing, you can see what I'm talking about with this burr comb is right here. It kind of got this like comb that's just sticking out. So I usually just pull it out and don't leave it there. So still haven't found her, but that's not any big deal. Like, because honestly, I'm seeing too many. I'm seeing all the evidence of the queen being there. Pull it out. Again, she's got plenty of space. I thought for sure maybe that it was a little crowded, but it's not. All these little open spots. You see the like orangey yellow stuff in the holes? That's all pollen. So they're doing what they're supposed to do. They're collecting pollen, making honey, laying eggs. I'm gonna pull out one more frame just because I want to make sure. Because what I'm also looking for is swarm cells, which I can't imagine they'll do at this late in the spring. They typically only do that in the spring, but June's not unheard of. So let's see what we see in this one. Again, here's a good example of drone cells. Those little knobby ones that are down there. Those are drone cells. And again, I'm looking now in this hive because it's been going for a while. Does the queen have space to lay eggs? That's the biggest thing right now. She's clearly laying eggs, but does she have space to lay eggs? Still haven't seen her, but she could have switched over to another frame after I pulled it out, and I would miss her. She could also be on the bottom somewhere. Interestingly, now this is, see if I can show it to you. This is a potential swarm cell right here. See how it's pointing downward? So, honestly, they have that one ready to where if they need to, but I don't think, there's nothing laid in there. So, one last frame. kind of blew on them. That kind of pissed them off. So just trying to not squish anybody. So I'm going to pull out this last frame just to see, make sure there's no swarm cells on it. I don't see any. So there's just that one cell, and they don't have anything laid in there. So I think I'm good for right now. And they have space, so didn't see the queen. That's okay. I know she's in here because I see evidence of it. And now I'm just going to try to get everything back to where it was before. It's a little hard because they're kind of mad. The biggest thing is I'm just trying not to squish them in between the frames. It's not that I'm trying to not kill a bee, because there's literally thousands and thousands in here. It's more of just when you kill one, when they get smashed, they kind of give off this pheromone that then alerts everybody else that they need to do something. That's what I don't want them to do. Sorry guys. Alright, this last frame in here. Now I just want to get them evened out. And I'm going to put the top back on it with all the other bees. You got to remember there's a whole other frame over here that's got bees in it. So